Hey guys, it's John Time from Total Broheimer, and as you can see, I've brought the mighty Kolek Suneater. Today he will be accompanied by a Wizard of Death here. Chaos Sorcerer, that's what I was at. So I've brought the Chaos against a high elf opponent over here. And as you can see, he's got a front line of White Lions of Trace, 4 Lothern Seaguard protected by 2 Phoenix Guard on the edges, and a Mage of Lice, as well as a Prince on a Star Dragon. So I guess while we're advancing, I'll go ahead and go over my army as well. I got a front line of mixed Chaos Marauders with Great Weapon, 2 of them with some Chaos Trolls armored behind them, and also 3 Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons. Besides that, I've got 2 Marauder Horsemen with Throwing Axes and 2 Forsaken on each edge, as well as some Chaos Warhounds on either side of my army. So I'm just going to be advancing over here, and I immediately see his formation, and this brilliant strategy comes to mind. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to send Kolek right in the middle of here. And I'm going to send my trolls right in the middle of here. I'm going to concentrate all my large right here. And what I was hoping that my opponent would do is that he would pull his Phoenix Guard to engage in the center here. Then I would pull my trolls and Kolek out of here. And then send them to destroy the edges. While also sending my hounds around the edges and my Forsaken around the edges. So as you can see, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Here come my trolls. Here come Kolek the Suneater, let's say, and let's get this glorious charge here. As you can see, the High Elves are firing their arrows in defiance of this mighty charge of evil, and there's a dragon in the background. There goes Kolek, just bowling through. Nothing can stop him, and here come the trolls all along the line, just absolutely running into these High Elves. They just go all over the place. Alright, so I got my trolls in there, and Kolek Suneater. And as soon as he moves these Phoenix Guards to start engaging, once they get over here, I'm going to pull all my large out. You can already see I'm pulling Kolek out, and I'm going to try to also get my trolls out any second now. Sending in my Marauders and my Chaos Warriors with Great Ones to just muck up these Phoenix Guard now that they're here. Sending my Forsaken and Hounds around the back, because I want to get them on these Lothern Seaguard to at least get them to stop shooting. I also popped a Fate of Yuna on these Phoenix Guard, and as you see, it did a ton of damage, and my Marauders with Throwing Axes are going after this Prince right here, who has a bunch of buffs on him right now. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to get my Trolls out quite fast enough, but they do come back here, and you see I'm not just now pulling these guys out, so it wasn't a perfectly executed plan. I sent these Hounds against these Lothern Seaguard just to try to get them to muck them up, to get them to stop firing. They get routed off, and my Forsaken come in here, and my Forsaken are just going to wreck these guys. As you can see, he's just chasing Kolek Suneater with these Phoenix Guard over here, and I'm just going to keep on moving with this Kolek Suneater. Because he is much faster than these Phoenix Guard, and he does not need to deal with them. So I'm sending in some Chaos Marauders to mess him up. I also have my Marauders with Throwing Axes shooting at him, and any moment now I'm going to switch on to the Prince. There I go right there. Sending my Trolls in on the edges over here. I sent them against these White Lions of Trace, but for some reason they route off. I guess the Prince was close enough when he was up in the air over here to terrify him off. And I gotta say, the White Lions of Trace are doing a lot better against the Chaos Warriors than I thought they would. Of course, now there is a dragon in there, but I got Kolek in there as well. So, and he's doing some pretty good damage against this Prince over here. As you see, I'm popping another Fate of Yuna on these guys when I have these Marauders to make sure they can't go anywhere. And my Forsaken are just cutting through these Lothern Seaguard. And now I'm just going to collapse with Chaos Marauders. Oh, man. Yes. Yes, and it's just a mash. And all those Lothern Seaguard pretty much break all at once. And I just have my Hounds. I'm using them to destroy anything that decides to route off the map here. So he starts going after my Chaos Sorcerer of Death here, seeing the immense damage he's doing to his Phoenix Guard, and surprisingly, these Lions of Trace were able to fend off my Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons and these Trolls. But these Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons and these Trolls are doing pretty good over here. Though I gotta say, even with the Troll support, these White Lions of Trace are pulling their weight. Got these Hounds going after these Phoenix Guard, and now he's got a bunch of buffs on right now, so I'm gonna run away with Kolek Suneater. Unfortunately, these Chaos Marauder Horsemen with Throwing Axes get too close and they get drawn into melee. But I'm gonna have them start firing any moment here, and now we can see the High Elves are just being surrounded and circle beam, and at that point his entire army is going to rout. So let's go and look at the in-battle breakdown here. So the trolls honestly didn't do that well. I mean, I left them against the Phoenix Guard for only a few seconds, and they took massive damage. And surprisingly, even the White Lions of Trace did much better than I thought they would. But as you can see, these Forsaken got on those Lothern Sea Guard and just messed them up. Unfortunately, because he had guard mode on, they were actually still firing, despite being in melee combat, but you know, that's just something you have to deal with. I feel like I used the Chaos Warhounds with poison pretty good. Should have not sent them against Lothern Sea Guard in the front, because they just took unnecessary damage. But yeah, Kolek Sun Eater, Sorcerer of Death, and the Marauder Horseman here were all MVPs. And I just wanted to show you all this battle because things basically just went exactly how I planned. Well, except for the trolls, they didn't do so great. So I feel like honestly that wasn't a great army against Chaos. So let's go over here and see what I would bring. Now I actually don't like High Elves very much, and I definitely don't like them against Chaos. But what can we bring as a High Elf? So I'm thinking probably you're gonna want Teclis, and you're definitely gonna want a Net of Amantok here, as well as Enfeebling Foe and Regrowth. We're gonna grab one Dragon Prince. Do we even want Dragon Prince? It's hard to say. Let's go ahead and bring a Dragon Prince. Let's also go ahead and bring an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower in case the enemy decides to bring a Hell Cannon. The Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower will be able to take that out. And I honestly, you know what? Let's go ahead and grab a Frostheart Phoenix. I feel like that's a pretty tanky unit that will be able to hold Kolek down and help out with our two nobles that I'm going to grab here. And I'm just going to this is an interesting tool, but it's hard to make work, so I probably wouldn't spend extra on that because our army is already going to be pretty thin. As you can see here, we got a bunch of specialty units. So what's the bulk of our army going to be? The bulk of our army probably needs to be White Lions of Trace mixed in with a couple Swordmasters of Hoth. Ooh, so yeah, this is a very thin army, but I'd probably go with this for a front line and have the Spearmen for the back line, and just use all my specialty units to get the large units down. Hopefully the Swordmasters of Hoth can really do a good job against the front line. So I'd probably try something like this. I'm not gonna. Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't seem that great, but yeah, I would try something like this. I've seen something like this work against me. The Dragon Princes need to be used in conjunction with like the Net of Amantok. Like if you're going up against some Chaos Knights with Lances, for example, you need to use Teclis and then net down the Chaos Knights with Lances, and then the Dragon Princes will come out on top. So you're going to have to use magic very effectively. You're going to need to use a net to like pin down Kolek so these nobles can get on there with their deadly onslaughts and do a lot of damage to them very fast. And also the Frostheart Phoenix will apply some good debuffs to him. So yeah, minus 10% armor piercing damage is pretty big when you consider Kolek's overall armor piercing damage. So yeah, I try something like this. And the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower will force them to come to you. It can do good damage in its spread shot mode against Marauder Horsemen, and if they bring a Hell Cannon, it can shoot it down. So that's my 2 cents on the matter, guys. Like I said, not sure if it would work. I'll have to try this army out against Chaos. But anyway, that's going to be all for this one, guys. This is John Ton for Total Brohammer, signing out.